Today, we're going to talk about setting expectations. And when you think about setting expectations, since you are a child, you always want more than you're actually probably going to get from mom and dad, grandpa, teachers, whoever. Specifically today, we're going to talk about expectations for buyers. Now, there is a fine line here because as an agent, you want your buyers to be excited and engaged and wound up and to really help search for the home of their dreams. But also you have to bring reality to the table. If they're looking at things they just can't afford, or they're looking at an area that just won't work for their family, you got to be the one to let them know that so they don't waste their time and their energy and their emotion. One of the best ways to properly set expectations from the beginning is to insist politely that your buyer talk to a lender before you go looking at houses. Solid lender is going to help them know exactly what they can afford, an estimate of a payment, an estimate of a down payment, an estimate of all the programs that are out there to assist home buyers, especially first-time home buyers. You want an idea of what's real. And there's a lot of reasons for this. One is to protect the buyer. If the buyer gets in over their head, perhaps they somehow maneuver things and get a house they can't afford and then can't afford the monthly payment, well, that's just a negative vibe for everyone and can hurt their family down the road. Secondly, it wastes time because if the buyer is looking at things they cannot afford and cannot purchase, then without the capacity to buy it, there's no sense looking at it. And then as an agent, right, our time is how we make our living as well. We want to work, we enjoy our work, but yeah, realistically, we like to get paid. So if you're looking at houses that never can be purchased, it's just a waste of time. And also it's a waste of energy, physical energy, but emotional energy, because the ups and the downs, putting offers that aren't going to be accepted because there's no proof that the buyer can buy it, drains everyone's energy. And also the buyer dreaming of a home for their family, seeing themselves in a home that is never going to come to real life. It's just bad news for everybody. It's exhausting physically, it's exhausting emotionally. The best thing a buyer can do before going to look at houses is to talk to a local lender. Local being in the sense of where they want to purchase. For instance, if you're looking at homes in Deep Creek Lake and you live in DC, sure, the DC guys know what they're doing, but it's best to use a local lender wherever you're at. That would be, I feel, solid advice across the board. Talk to the lender, get an idea of what's realistic for you and your family to afford. Second is to get out in the field with a buyer agent and start looking at some houses. So you're looking online, you're all excited, the pictures are beautiful. You gotta go see the real house and what that amount of money will get you in real life. So as realtors, our job is to present these homes online as beautiful as we can. So are there times where you see a picture and it looks incredible and you go to the house and you're like, hey, that doesn't look the same? Yes, that happens. That's just, that's called marketing. We want to get you to go see the home. But anyway, your buyer agent should gladly take you out to see homes once you've talked to the lender. And sometimes it takes a weekend. Sometimes it takes, 100 weekends. And that's my third point. So talk to your lender, number one. Go out and look at the homes, number two. And the third is to understand it's going to take some time. There are times where you fall in love with the house, you're approved to purchase it, everything works out and it's smooth, but it's also a long game. You might start looking at houses when you know an extra child's going to be in your family, but it might be several months before you actually find the house that you need. Perhaps you're dreaming of a lake house, a Deep Creek Lake house to bring your family to and spend those wonderful weekends and summers and skiing in the winter and all that stuff. Well, you might start looking 1 year and it might be the next year, a whole year, even longer before you find what makes sense for you and your family. So there is a lot to think about when purchasing a house. But a buyer with realistic expectations,